I wanted to start the show today talking about Destiny, guys, and the future of this franchise, which we've already kind of talked a little bit about on the YouTube channel, but I wanted to talk about everything we know so far about Destiny 3 and how anticipated this game obviously is, but at the same time, it still could be quite a ways away. So let's talk about it. So in an article, guys, that was written by Nicholas Wilder of Game Rant, when will Destiny 3 be released? As the year comes to an end, and this was written, guys, at the end of 2019, despite this being the beginning of the Destiny franchise's 5th year, it's easily the biggest year so far for developer Bungie. Midway through January, Bungie and Activision officially parted ways, and the developer gained complete control of the publishing, followed by the release of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep expansion, a new free-to-play module cross-save launched on the new cloud streaming service Google Stadia, and began a new ongoing narrative that weaves each content season together. Now that the series is finally moving in a cohesive line narratively speaking, when and how will it lead to Destiny 3? The original Destiny 3, or Destiny, released back in 2014 and told a very self-contained story of a Guardian being resurrected and putting an end to a world-ending threat from an alien species known as the Vex. So, then, of course, guys, in Destiny 2, things have continued to happen without the overall plot of the Traveler and the Darkness ever moving forward. So far, all of the rumors for Destiny 3 are hinting at that exact plot line, and it looks like Bungie are starting to move towards it. Now, we could talk all day, guys, about speculation regarding where the story's going to go in Destiny 3. My bigger thing is like, when are we going to kind of expect this game to release? Because it's been a while since Destiny 2, and I know that now that that Bungie has full control of Destiny, they probably want to take full advantage of trying to make as much money as they can off of Destiny 2 at this point, kind of right the wrongs of what happened with Destiny 2, at least at the start. For argument's sake, we're only looking at rumors and leaks relating to the story and release of Destiny 3 to try and work out what will happen next. By far, the biggest Destiny 3 rumor arrived earlier this year from a Redditor by the name of Another9, a well-known informant at the time that has since deleted their account. Supposedly, Destiny 3 would finally bring players face-to-face with the darkness with a new and mysterious race called the Veil, the same race that is currently on their way to Earth in the Pyramid ships. Considering the Pyramid ship reveal at the end of the Destiny 2 campaign, the even bigger reveal in Shadowkeep, and the general mention of these ships in-game and in the lore, it seems pretty likely that Bungie will be saving the storyline for the next game. So I agree with this. I think having a new mysterious race called the Veil coming into the fray, into the franchise, would be something that I would definitely be interested in kind of learning more about as we go as well. The Veil are said to be an alien race that serves the darkness in the same way that the Guardians serve the light. So look, guys, I'm all in on that. I just kind of, at the end of the day, one of the biggest things to me for Destiny 3 is I want Bungie to take their time with this game, right? They were probably under a lot of pressure the past, couple of iterations of this franchise because they were under Activision to try to, kind of make things maybe move at a faster rate than maybe they wanted to. And there were obviously creative differences between Activision and Bungie. So at the end of the day, my number one thing would be that I want Bungie to take their time with Destiny 3. Because all in all, we can kind of talk, all day about Destiny 1 and then Destiny 2 and kind of what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and what can be, done differently moving forward in the franchise. But I think at the end of the day, if Bungie just takes their time with Destiny 3 and just kind of really tries to not only support Destiny 2 while they're doing this, but kind of moving in a direction of Destiny 3 and kind of picking up not so much where they left off with Destiny 2, but more so kind of now that they have that creative freedom, they really have the time to really make this what they've wanted it to be from the very beginning. Right before Christmas, Bungie did make somewhat of an official comment on Destiny 3 when Bungie Communication Director David Daigle said in an interview that Bungie's commitment and intention were focused on the seasons that will unfold over the course of the next year, and that no comment could be made about future moves. Bungie has moved to a 4-season structure to keep players invested throughout the year with each seasonal story, an activity leading into the next with the overarching story reaching its conclusion at the end of the year. It's unlikely that these miniature stories will set off a chain of events that lead to Destiny 3 and the Veil, as it's clear they're already coming. However, players can expect more teases on their presence in the future. And then in mid-September, Bungie released a 10-minute video called The Moon and Beyond, offering players an in-depth look at the next expansion, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. So I think at the end of the day, guys, when we look at everything that Bungie's doing right now, I think it's really about getting their footing, kind of having their own vision for the first time in a while to do what they need to with Destiny to make it, like, you know, creatively exactly what they want it to be. Now, at the end, the other thing that we have to look at is that them not being partnered with Activision is obviously not going to help the reach so much with Destiny. So Activision, obviously having a publisher like Activision, they're able to spread it out to the masses. Like millions upon millions of people are seeing the ads and seeing the different expansions that are coming out. Now Bungie's by themselves with this. And so I think that Bungie can certainly do it. They did it with Halo. They can certainly do it with Destiny. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. So maybe taking your time to bring Destiny 3 out is probably a good idea. I would say, guys, that we're probably at least a year or so away from really hearing official word that Destiny 3 is in active development. Probably a year or two after that is when we'll actually be able to get our hands on the game, because they're going to want to take their time and make sure that they know exactly the direction they want to go in, of course, with Destiny 3. Now, all of this is just speculation based on an offhand comment made by Luke Smith made in the Destiny 2 Shadowkeep vidoc. However, Bungie wouldn't have released that edit if it didn't want to, and knowing how Bungie operates and the talent that the studio has, there's no way that it's going to release another product that's not ready to go just to meet a deadline. It stands to reason then that Destiny 3 will be a next generation game coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So this is the studio's chance to give it everything it's got for the next game while the studio begins work on what comes after Destiny. So what I think, guys, is Destiny 3 is probably in the talks at this point. I think that we can assume that it's definitely something that's being talked about over at Bungie. Probably initial concepts are also being worked on at this point in time with Destiny 3. We don't really have much other information, though, other than that. There's a few different, obviously a few leaks, a lot of people like giving their own speculations. I will say, guys, that I believe that we're going to hear word that this is going to be in development, that being Destiny 3, within the next year. And then after that, probably a year or two after that is when we will actually see the release of this game. So it'll be on the next generation of consoles, which can really take advantage of the better, of better graphics and things of that nature. Bungie's definitely wants to work on Destiny 3, guys, obviously. I think that they want to have their own vision. And now that they do, Destiny 3 would, from the very beginning, be their baby, essentially, that they are, completely and utterly, like, raising and making this. Maybe Destiny 3 is one of those things where it's a 10-year plan, like they had said from the beginning with Destiny 2, and they've been saying this, that they wanted, like, this 10-year plan, and maybe with Destiny 3, it'll be that fresh start for them as a company that they can do a real 10-year kind of vision, essentially, for the franchise. But with that being said, guys, it's pretty much everything that we know so far. We know some things, but we know very little, really, at this point as to when the game is going to come out. We can really go based on just pure speculation at this point. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see in Destiny 3? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Destiny 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.